Greetings, listeners. I am your host and game master this evening, Zach Barrett, and welcome to this Twisted Gears Studios production of Spacers, our Starfinder actual playcast. Last we left the crew, they began their investigation into the coordinates provided by Xovaktekka. The poisonous planet they arrived at seems deserted, with all but a derelict ship in orbit, reaching out to Kliptik's mind. They proceed down to the planet's surface.
So, you guys head on down as you breach the upper atmosphere of the planet. Sure enough, the entire sky gets a purplish hue when you're on this planetoid. You head towards this crater that is quite shaded from the sun. It's quite harshly emitting its light nearby. And what it appears to be is there is actually like a building, like a construct that is here. However, it seems very inactive. There is not much in the way for lighting. Anything is not nailed down on the outside of this facility, like containers or carts or posts, have all been knocked over or scattered. There is a landing pad that seems vacant. And there are some scoring marks on the outside of this facility, as if something shot at it.
It's like a building?
It's a building, yeah.
All right, there's a pad there. Go there.
I'm already putting on my spacesuit.
Wow.
I'm gonna put on my spacesuit with you.
Yeah.
Greg's landing.
You've landed.
Yay.
What do you think we'll find here, Clippy?
I don't know. Your guess is as mine.
Yeah, the guy who gave us this information just... I don't know. He seemed to think we'd find one of his people here, but I don't...
Who is this guy?
Oh, Xovak gave us these coordinates.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a 50-50 chance that this is going to be our demise. Exciting.
Yeah,
I
but
would
there's
not
also
trust a thing that creature says.
a 50-50 chance that it'll be really boring, because he was pretty boring. That still gives us 25% chance there'll be something cool.
That's
Oh my
not
God.
true. That's not how math works.
Your math is blowing my mind.
All right, I'm gonna get my suit on. I'm gonna set a timer for 20 minutes.
Perfect.
I'm sure I have some kind of device that lets me do that.
Yeah, that's pretty damn
On my,
That would really
my-
suck if there was
yeah.
nothing to tell you how long you could
Yeah,
be on
my-
the planet.
my-
Turn on the space timer.
I'll give it to you.
my sci-fi iPhone.
You mean
yeah.
Tim?
Ooh.
All right, first thing of note, as you guys are about to head off of the Meteor, is that at the end of this landing pad, there is a large opening to one of the biggest rooms that was attached to the building. It seems to be some kind of a hangar bay or store loading area. And it's from this room that the closest entrance that you can get, and you can go to the rest of the building proper from there.
I will lead the charge. Going in there.
All right.
Alright, follow.
The overall hangar door is closed, but there are small, personnel entryways that are down below. When you approach the closest one to you, it does seem to be jaggedly open. Like, it seems like it would slide to the right. It is neither fully opened or fully sealed, and is angled as if it kind of got jammed on its way into a closed or open position.
Is it dark in there?
When you look on in, roll a perception check.
If it's dark?
Well, I can give you as much information as you will give you. Tell me.
24.
24? Holy cow. So looking in,
Oh, well.
there seems to be something sparking. There is a couple of lights that are pretty constant, but for the most part it is considered dim light. Anyone here have some semblance of dark vision?
Me. I think I do.
Greg totally does.
Okay.
Where would I see
not.
that?
It would be under racial features.
Dim light you can still see in, though.
You just have a bit of a deduction to your visibility, yeah. So it's not pitch black in there, but it's not very well lit. And whatever isn't lit by the unbroken lights are just flickering. Like emergency lighting is on.
Nope, I lied. I don't, but I have blind sense, which is sensing vibrations in the air up to 30 feet.
Okay,
That's
so then
what
for
I
up to
thought.
30 feet, you still basically have a standard view of the place.
Does that work in a spacesuit?
Yeah, it would work because it's
Probably.
vibrations and things, right? So yeah, as long as he's touching something,
Mm-hmm.
it still operates.
Cool.
All right.
I'm sure I can fit in there, yes?
Oh yeah. Even like Laurel may have to like push herself a little bit, but everyone but Laurel will have no problem getting in through the door.
Yeah, I'll go in and I'll, as I enter the building, draw my dueling sword that I have.
Oh, that's classy. All right. Rest you guys follow?
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
also pull out my weapon, but I pull out I pull out my pistol. I'm just gonna hold it in one hand.
Okay. Everyone else arm themselves?
I have my battle glove on, I would assume, and I have a knife, but I haven't had it drawn, but it's on my person.
Sweet.
And
Correct.
I will draw my brand new custom service revolver, which I haven't had a chance to shoot anybody with yet.
Well, maybe you'll
myself,
get the
for that
chance. Oh dear.
I
All
hope
right.
there's furniture in this place so I can just throw it at my enemies. I seem to be good at that.
Or we could get another table.
Oh yeah!
Anyway.
As you move into the hangar bay and you get a wider field of view, it seems that there are score marks on the ground as something has scraped through. And as you follow the line of carnage towards the wall at the back end of the hangar bay, or the loading bay, you do see that there is, in fact, a Pact Worlds designed vessel that has crashed into the wall and has breached a significant portion of the facility outside of this. The door itself into the hangar bay seems to be properly sealed, and there doesn't seem to be any damage to the large ship-sized door. So, but this
Came
ship
through a
has
wall?
come through. It doesn't look like it came through a wall at all. Only that whatever, once it hits, its engines are facing you guys. Its bow has broken through the wall on the opposite side of where the door to the hangar bay has
So
closed.
it's like it flown in
Yeah.
and tried to stop in time, but it didn't. It went right into the wall.
and
On
the
the
door's
other end.
closed behind it.
Is it a personal-sized craft? How big is this?
It looks like it's definitely not a person. It's smaller than Meteor, but larger than a single
Okay.
one-man ship. Yeah. So it could house a small team fairly comfortably.
I'm gonna go up to it and peer into the windows.
All right. Most of the windows are cracked or visibly damaged.
Okay.
However, the back door to this vessel is kind of broken open from the crash. Like the frame is bent enough that that door can't seal properly.
Okay, then I'm gonna go inside.
Okay. Is anyone else going with Laura?
I will go as well.
I'll stay outside.
Okay.
Yeah, Greco stay outside as well.
All right. Perception checks from Diantha and Laurel, please.
What am I taking away from it? Neither of us have dark vision, so. 18?
And neither of you have.
No, we're both.
Okay, so 19 from you.
Natural one.
As you go into the ship, Laurel, you bang your head off of the door frame, and you're more worried about looking at the back of your eyelids as you rub where it hits your helmet. You hit your helmet on its way, and the front of your nose really came into contact with your helmet right good. Diantha,
18, not 19.
18. So it is a little hard to see in here. However, it looks like this ship was some kind of a medical transport. Just the way that there are no flickering lights inside the ship. Whatever you're getting is through the damaged windows and the shining light coming from outside. So in here, you may as well treat it as pitch black. But with the little flickering that you do have there, you get the outline of what was once like holding cages. Nothing is in here, but it looks like it used to be a transport for something medical
It's a
purpose.
Medical.
Yeah.
Cool. I guess I can't really see anything, but I guess I'll just see if there's like any.
Do we have like lights on our spacesuits?
I will say you do.
Turn on my light.
I think that's fair. That's a good question. I'll give it to you.
Cool. I'll turn on my light and I'll look for anything of interest, supplies that I've left behind, signs of people, where they may have gone, anything like that.
You're gonna stay for a bit and work some stuff out.
Yeah, well, I'll just take a gander.
Just a quick look. No more than a couple minutes.
Not even.
If you want
we
to
have
spend
20
long.
minutes. It's gonna be a 40 seconds.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it.
I'll give you guys one more roll of perception.
Okay.
And for Greg and Kliptik, also, if you guys can roll a perception check real quick.
19.
19 from Deantha.
10.
10 from Laurel.
Natural 20 plus 9 from Greg.
Oh my god, Greg. All right.
I've got eyeballs everywhere.
Natural 18 plus 8. So it's 18, 19, 20.
26.
Yeah.
Good at
Good
math.
at math. I'm surprisingly good. All right. Going in chronological order, as we've already done a round of information from inside the science vessel. Kliptik and Greg standing outside. In this hangar bay itself, there's nothing of immense interest. A lot of carnage and destruction seems to have been derived from the crashing of this vessel. But you do see that on the ground level, there is a secondary, gantry level of this hangar bay as well, as a lot of hangar bays tend to have. But on the floor, like the ground level where you guys are, there is a door that leads into the rest of the facility, and it doesn't seem to be damaged at all. It is closed, and there is a window in the top portion of it, like a porthole window, and you do see some flickering light from there as well, leading down a hallway that goes into the rest of the facility.
I would like to go and look through the window.
All right, you go. You look through. A lot of the hallway is torn apart. Pipes and electrical circuitry hangs from the ceiling in this hall, and you rolled a 26. You are able to make out in the sparking that there is the shape of a figure laying on the ground against the hallway.
Laying against, I'm sorry, what?
It's sitting on the floor, leaning against the hallway, like the hall
Against the
wall.
hallway.
Yeah,
Super dead.
further down past the sparking bit.
Okay.
With a natural 20 for Greg. Kliptik hasn't even noticed that you were also looking in through the window, and looking on past it, you see that there is a door on the far, far end, and the only reason why you can tell that there's something there is that there's a light that's kind of flickering on and off, as you get the sense that there's a door that's automated that's trying to close, but is hitting something and it's keeping it open, and it is repeatedly trying to close.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the.
Oh my god.
Wow. Back in the medical vessel, Deantha, you rolled a what again?
19.
19, 10 for
10.
Laurel.
You want a quick glance, see if there's anything good.
Laurel, you find that you do find a medical lab coat. There doesn't seem to be any personalization or anything on it, but there does seem to be blood on it.
No.
So
I mean, if it
this
was nice, I'd give it to Clippy, but nah.
However, for Deantha, you actually start looking through small compartments in the shuttle as opposed to just kind of glancing around. You do find 2 healing sprays.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah. And just really quickly, I want to confirm something about those real quick.
That's what we needed. That sounds like a lot.
Okay. Yeah. So these healing sprays, when used, will heal not stamina. It will heal health points of 1d4 plus 1 each. Yeah. Basically, sci-fi version of a cure light wounds, more or less.
Healing potion. Yep.
So you have 2 med sprays.
Cool. Thank you. Good. Thank you.
You're welcome. One thing of note, just as a quick bit of information, is that with space suits on, healing with material objects is difficult. You will have to remove a suit
Which we
And
can't do.
I mean, technically in the rules, I guess it doesn't quite say that, or at least I haven't read it there. But I mean, from a practical sense, if you were to puncture a hole into a suit to spray them with something, your suit becomes compromised, right? So from a practical standpoint, when your suit...
Well, I'm thinking if I got punctured in a suit on that planet, I think we'd be dead in mere moments, even
Yeah.
with low
I'd
radiation.
be running into
so-
some issues.
Not useful
so.
right now, but I will pocket those.
Okay.
Head back out.
All right. So Kliptik and Greg, what do you wish to do with this door in your way?
Am I able? Am I able to use blind sense to ascertain if this creature is alive?
So blind sense kind of works like basically like from gameplay terms like your eyes in that way.
Okay.
So it would be like a standard perceiving of the world around you, and he is within range of that, and you can tell that there is no motion from the body. Beyond that, it's kind of the exact same as just looking at someone. You cannot tell if they are alive or dead, only that there is no motion.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's a good way of explaining it.
Yeah, and we can't recognize it at all. Like, we don't exactly know what this creature is.
It seems to be bipedal,
Bipedal. Okay.
just in a generic shape. You can't make out any limbs, but the fact that it's leaned up against a wall implies that it can lean up against a wall.
Oh, revolutionary.
What?
So a quadruped would not be able to move like this.
Greg, what do you see in this hallway? Do you think we should go assist?
I think we should get the others first.
That's wise. That seems wise.
And as you're saying that, you do hear the clunking footsteps of Laurel leaving the medical frigate.
Oh, there's Laurel. Don't even look at it behind. I can just hear it.
I am not subtle.
Nope.
You going in?
Yeah. Need to be quick though.
Is it like hit a button door, or do you have to grab a handle?
There is a button that you can hit, and when you hit it, the door and it opens about a couple inches and ceases movement after that.
I grab the door and I try to pull it open.
Strength check, please.
Why am I rolling so low today? 12.
12? I'll say that that's enough. You kind of pull the door. It gives you a lot of grief, and you spend a good little bit of time there and at it, and then finally pry the door completely open enough for all of you to walk through.
Alright.
I will lead, I guess.
All right.
Take the
Step on forward as you guys progress down,
With sword in hand.
avoiding the sparking circuitry that's hanging from the ceiling. When you pass the body that was laying there, unless there's some methodology that you're aware of, otherwise, the wounds upon this human individual are fatal. There seems to be these severe claw marks that have severed an arm from its torso. And I say it because you can't quite make out anything beyond the fact that this individual was once human. The scarring is that bad. I would like anyone that wants to, or anyone that wants to, it could be all four of you, to roll medicine checks real quick, please.
I'm just going to keep an eye on the hallway.
That's fair.
Ooh, rolled a 4 on the dice, but I have a +7, so 11.
11.
I have
7?
Medicine.
Oh, I have a natural 18 plus 8.
Oh,
26. All right.
20, not natural.
All right. Greg, looking at it, man, it is a messed up human body. Clawed apart.
Sorry. Are they similar? Can you missed them? Are they similar release to ones that we've seen before?
No.
No.
Diantha with a, she's rolled a 20.
Yeah.
So what you notice, and what's most interesting about this, is that the wound has cauterized a bit. It's not in the sense that it's clotted, so there is some scabbing, so it's not fresh. But the body hasn't decomposed quite a bit. You give the time of death within the past week. If anything, maybe even the past couple of days. Kliptik, you come to the same conclusion, but I want you to roll me another willpower check.
Oh shit!
Please.
Oh man.
Getting rained on.
That is that one again?
Yep.
So that is a 15 plus 6, so 21.
21. All right. The visage here is... You're not in your medical past. You do a little bit of medicine every now and then in your travels, just how long you've been out and about. The wounds themselves don't strictly look like things that you've dealt with often, but there's something reminiscent about them. There's something familiar about them, and you can't quite put your thumb on it, but you can sense that the whispers are back, but they don't take hold. Do you wish to listen to what they say?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Roll a perception check.
Oh shit. We'll see
Lindsay, of course she's
Of course she's gonna say yes, yeah. Hey man, it's more interesting that way.
So 12 plus 8.
20.
Would be 20.
Okay. You pay attention to the voices, and I'll get you to do one more check in a second here. No, I'll get you to do one more check right now. Roll a culture check, please. With a +5.
Sorry?
You're gonna get +5 to this.
So that's a 10 plus a 7, so that's 17 plus 5.
And then +5, the 5 that I gave you, yeah?
Yeah, so 22.
22. You, personally, as a telepath, have never had the displeasure of experiencing this before.
I'm sorry, say that again?
You, as a telepath, have never had the displeasure of experiencing this before. But you, as a Sheeran, know deep down in your ancestral history that this is hive mind mentality, that this is not direct communication, but something telepathically powerful with a hive-like mentality is reaching out to you. And with your previous perception check, there are dozens of voices. With your willpower check, they're not convincing you or taking hold in any way.
Okay.
But when you listen close enough and the voices get louder and louder the more you listen and pay attention, how long do you want to spend focusing on it?
Probably not too long.
Not too long,
Yeah.
but a couple seconds?
Couple seconds, yeah.
Okay, so you pay attention really hard, and at the moment that you're about to cease listening, all of the voices stop at once, and they all, for 1 second, they all speak in one at once, and they only say 2 words. They just say,
Save us.
and then you break out of it.
Oh no.
How do you react?
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume that probably would startle me because
Oh,
it's
yeah, a
a
little
hive
bit.
mind, right? That's.
You can act however you do with that information, whatever you like.
I'm probably gonna be startled back.
Mm-hmm.
Just probably lean up against a wall to stabilize myself. And just probably say, off the ship, get back onto our ship.
You okay there, Clippy?
No.
Come on. Yeah, we're gonna keep going. And I start walking towards the other end of the hall.
No. Stop. And I'm gonna grab her arm.
What?
I
What?
don't have a good feeling about this.
Why not?
There's voices.
I don't hear anything.
I would know for sure it was a hive.
There's nothing for sure about it.
There's nothing for sure about
There's
it.
nothing
Just
for
sort
sure
of-
about it. It's just vague senses, assumptions, what you believe you heard,
Right.
given the rolls.
We're already here.
This is a bad ship.
Well, yeah. Someone got clawed to death. I mean,
I-
whatever did it.
They might be here still.
So we shoot it.
No. Let's go back onto our ship. Please, let's go back onto our ship, and I'm gonna try and pull you away. Don't even bother using strength check on me, because I ain't moving you for an inch.
It's true.
It's probably gonna be like the cartoon. where-
You know what, Clippy? If you're real scared, then you can go back to the ship and you keep an eye on stuff. But like, we're already here. We're gonna take a look, see what's going on.
I'm going to unsheath my knife
Mm-hmm.
right now
Yep.
and just be like, where my friends go, I go. And then I kind of good in reserve, but I am not happy at all.
You know what? I put a hand on your shoulder and just, you stay just behind me. You know, we'll take it slow. We'll see. We'll look quick. We'll see if we see anything good, and then we'll head back. Mm-hmm. You know, we thought it's really likely that whatever happened here cleared it all out. There's no good salvage left. We'll take a quick look. All right.
I'm gonna nod, but then I'm gonna go to Diantha and be like, "You're my friend, right?"
Yes, sure.
Do you trust me?
Yes.
I feel we should leave.
Diantha, just real quick, and in Cthulhu this would be the equivalent of an idea roll, but I needed a thought to come up, so I want you to roll an intelligence check for me, please, Diantha.
Intelligence?
Yeah.
Or insight? What was I saying?
There is no insight.
Yeah. No, this isn't about Kliptik.
Oh, okay, just intelligence.
Yeah, this is just to see if a thought strikes you.
Okie dokie. Probably not. That's a 7.
In total?
Yep.
It could occur to Greg.
While they're talking, I was going to say Greg was going to stealth his way up to the door and take a little peek through the crack.
Fair enough.
Or to see at least what was keeping the door from closing.
Yeah, actually, Greg, I'll get you. Can you hear? Do you want to be able to hear their conversation as you go?
Nah.
Okay, you don't even get the idea roll. While you guys have this conversation, this takes a little bit of time, but enough time that you would not be paying attention to Greg. He was not brought up in the slightest. Greg, you progress forward to the end of the hallway. Mm-hmm. The limb that was missing off of this human is what's keeping the door from closing.
It was missing a limb.
Yep. However, you can also see what's on the other side of this door once you approach it.
Yeah.
Just give me a quick perception check, please.
Okay. Yeah, I want to be able to hide too. Like, I'm not going to just stand up in the opening.
Okay. Once you roll this perception, you can also roll a stealth.
Perception 17 on their dice. Plus
38.
9.
It's
So
26. Okay.
And my stealth is a base of plus 17.
Oh my god.
Plus 6. So.
Greg was never there.
Like the wind, baby.
Like the wind. Okay, so you approach the automated door, and you see that there are computers that are active on this other side. That this room, you kind of get the idea, if there was any information to be pulled from this facility, this room would be it.
I'm gonna very gently move the arm away, so the door goes back to acting normally.
And you close the door, and the three of you do notice that there is now that what's now become white noise of the door going has suddenly went and then stopped.
I walk over to the door because I see Greg there.
At the same time, Diantha and Kliptik, how does this affect your guys' conversation?
I'm probably going to stop and be like, "No!" and run up to where Greg is, because I feel like there's danger behind that door. But
I want to grab him, try and grab him before he leaves, if I can.
Both of you roll dexterity checks. Just give me dexterities. Sorry, for Diantha it'll be dexterity. Kliptik roll reflex.
Oh, reflex.
Yeah, so just add your reflex
16.
saving throw. 16?
Under your saving throws.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, oh, reflex here. Oh, 11.
Alright, Diantha, you are able to grab Kliptik. Timely enough.
I look at the time left. How much time is left?
About 11 minutes.
This is how long we're staying here. Can you manage that?
I mean, and I'm gonna probably be doing this with my hands, just like doing a bug-like
Kliptik.
nervous motion. Yes.
You're going to be fine. Anything that tries to get to you will go through me first.
Ooh, roll a persuade check, but like, well, I might even give you bonuses on it.
You probably won't need to.
That's a good way of putting it.
Oh, the confidence.
I'm gonna ruin it. I'm gonna shatter
It's
it.
diplomacy, right?
Yeah.
Hi. 25.
25. Diantha gives you, like, Diantha's a very steely person, and just the way that she grabs you and the stone cold look she's giving you, which for a lesser being would be terrifying, for you, she believes what she says.
I'm probably going to reach out, but not in a like flirting with you way, but touching where you
We
put
gotta be
the
careful
picture,
with that
where you put the picture in your thing, because you actually kept my picture, which I
Aw,
remembered,
That's so cute.
and I'll be like, I trust you, but I'm gonna probably be behind you the entire.
Yeah, I'll go
Sure
forward
about that.
behind Greg.
Yeah.
With sword drawn.
All right. Greg, what are you doing with this door that's now closed?
Well, while they were talking, I was probably going to look up at Laurel and do a little head tip towards the door, like, want to go?
I open the door.
Strength check, please.
19.
This one seems to not have anything in the way. It was pretty good to pull open.
Oh, it's full of computers.
Yeah. Computers, and most of them have like a blue hue to them, except for any that are covered in remains have a red hue to them.
How many people were killed in this room?
You count 3
And they were all
human.
eviscerated?
Similar claw marks, different levels, but certainly. However, one seems to have a blast mark in their back. It doesn't seem like the hole in their body was done by a claw. It was done by some kind of blast mark. But none from a weapon that you're... Roll a culture check, actually, because it's you, Laurel. Roll a culture check, please.
While Laurel's
12.
12. While Laurel's
While
doing it.
Laurel's checking out the
might
bodies
also-
and stuff, Greg's gonna make his way to a blue-hued terminal and see if he can get some information out of the ship, or this facility.
While I check with Deantha, roll a computer check, please.
I might also know things about weapons.
About weapons? I'll get you to roll a culture check too, but I gave an invisible... I gave an unseen bonus to Laurel,
I
but
will.
you can have yours too.
So I also spend time around.
Yep.
That's
And-
what is that, sorry?
Culture.
Culture. 20.
I like culture checks. 20? Okay, interesting. Before I give you the results of that, Greg, what was your computer's check?
16 in total. I rolled an 8 on the dice, and he has +8.
Ah, so 16. All right, it'll take you a couple minutes, but the computer's fully functional. You can pull pretty much whatever information you want, just keeping in mind that each time you ask for more information, it takes more time, and if something happens, it will limit how much information you can pull. So
have 10
prioritize
minutes.
accordingly, but you can...
Alright, I will only try pulling information once. Just because I don't feel like dying here. in the middle of nowhere.
Depending on what it is, I'll let you know how much time it'll take. You formulate what you want to take, and I'll go to Deantha and Laurel's checks. Laurel doesn't look like a pack world weapon or a Vesk weapon. You know that for a fact. You, Diantha, you have... It's been a long time since anyone's seen a weapon like this, but... You're a military individual. You've studied history of the Pack Worlds. This seems reminiscent of a swarm blaster.
While Greg is going up to the computer, so I just sort of look at the blaster, go, and then I do a circle of the room just to check, see, make sure there's nowhere someone could sneak up on us. Nothing else in the room.
It's... it seems that the walls of this... Roll one more perception check, actually. And then, Greg, do you have your first bit of information you want to pull?
He wants to see what the purpose of the facility was.
Okay. While I give that answer, Kliptik, roll a wisdom saving throw, or a willpower saving throw, please. Laurel, what'd you get?
I got a 3. I'm switching dice.
There are walls.
The
Kliptik.
walls are not doors.
15.
15? Greg. The purpose of this facility seems to be a science outpost.
Just a science outpost.
An independently operated science outpost. Doesn't have any affiliation with any groups that you... There's no... Everybody has a particular way that they do things on their computer, depending on the faction. Doesn't seem like it's Atlanti, doesn't seem Veskian, doesn't seem Pact. You can't quite tell who operated the facility unless you did some more digging. That would be a more difficult check. But in terms of its purpose, and it doesn't take any time to figure that out, it's pretty quick. You don't know who it is.
And
But it's a science
all the
vessel.
dead people we've seen so far have
White
been
lab coats.
human.
Humanoid.
Humanoid.
Oh, we couldn't
Yeah.
can't tell.
A lot of them you can't tell.
Okay.
Okay, but at least humanoid.
Cover that.
Yeah.
Okay.
The guy who was shot in the back, though, has he been clawed, or he was just
He
shot?
was just shot.
Is he human, or she, or it?
I'll get you to roll a medicine check. Kliptik, what was your
I'm-
willpower saving throw?
Mine was, I think I said it was 15.
15? I'll go with 15. The voices return, but again, not in the controlling aspect. You are able to keep it, like, in the first time you heard them, they were quite
Loud?
concentrated. Now it's just that they are a white noise-like presence, like the hum of a light
Okay.
in this space. Deantha, were you rolling something earlier?
Nope.
No? What did you get on your medicine check there?
Oh, I was wanting to make sure. I'm only going to do that after I circle the room, make sure no one can sneak up on us. So, are there any other doors that lead to this room, or just the one we came through?
Just the one you came through.
Okay, then yeah, I'll do the medicine check now. Medicine is 18.
All right. No, it's Drow.
Oh,
I want everyone to roll a perception check. Except for Laurel, because she's already done this and failed.
4 on the dice.
Oh, and not Greg, because Greg is looking at the computer.
Okay.
So basically just Deantha and Kliptik. Greg, what's the next bit of information you want to pull? That was pretty easy. You can get something else pretty simple.
If I can get a company name or something that funds the facility.
That one's going to take some roll a computers check. What were the perception results?
14.
14.
You notice that the 3 walls of this facility, of this room, that are opposite of the door you entered through, have glass, and that the metal that you see on the other side seem to be some kind of blast door. Correct. What was your result?
14, 6 on the dice. Let's see.
Okay. One more willpower, or say... Sorry, no, I'm going to take that number that you used, and I'm going to roll something. You said you had 15 there, Kliptik?
14.
14? Okay. And your result for your computer's check there was what again there?
14.
14? Alright. It seems to be an independent company from... Yeah, it seems to be an independent company from the planet Apostate.
Okay.
And is there any other information you want to do? Deantha and Kliptik, what do you guys want to do now that you know about the walls?
No, the blast doors are on the other side of the glass.
Correct.
Is the glass compromised in any way?
No.
Can I open the blast doors?
Sure. You open. Basically large metal, movable metal walls.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would be like, you know how if someone robbed a bank and they do that and the shutters come down
they close.
to protect the people behind you. It's basically that, but it's
Okay.
space.
The idea is that Kliptik can move the walls out of the way like panels, and that this glass will be the only thing between you and whatever's on the other side.
Okay. Interesting. Got it.
Okay.
Yes.
As you open the door, and Greg, you see that it's from an independent company from the Apostate. Doesn't really ring too much of a bell to you. So yeah, it doesn't really ring any bells to you. The door opens, and there are lights on the other side. There is a massive swarm vessel that seems to be in the rest of this facility is actually dug into the crater itself. And there is a swarm vessel on the other side that's been experimented. And as that happens, the voices in your head, Kliptik, get a lot less powerful, and one prevailing voice comes on through. Not like the others. And it's this soft voice. Welcome home, darling. What do you do with that information?
I'm probably going to slam the blast door shut.
So you open the door, you see that happening, and perception check. Who's looking in through the blast door? Probably just Greg and Deantha, or Laurel and Deantha?
Yeah.
Perception checks, please.
Woof. Not great.
I'm switching dice.
Well, what did you guys get?
Natural 1.
I think that's 12. Yeah, 12.
All right, for the natural one, you're still looking at the drow's body, being like, so
It's definitely a drow.
that sucks.
Yeah, jeez, dude.
Deantha, the walls are crawling on the inside of the viewing tank that there are swarm. For those that may not know, swarm are the race of insectoid aliens that the Sheeran broke away from. They acquired independence, and they were the largest threat that the Pact Worlds and the Veskarium ever faced. And it was because of their assault on the Veskarium that the Veskarium signed a peace treaty to join the Pact Worlds in the first place.
They're crawling on the outside of the glass?
They're all over the walls on the inside of the viewing tank. And there's a ship of theirs that's inside the viewing tank.
Oh shit.
It becomes pretty clear that whatever killed the people were swarm in nature, and they all stop and stare at the glass tank as you do this in sync.
We need to run.
And
We need to get out of
Kliptik
here.
smashes the button, the doors begin to close, and a few of them begin putting their limbs in through the blast doors.
We need to go. And
Ceasing the movement of the
What?
doors.
Why?
we're running. And I just
Drow.
I'm running too.
Guys.
grab Greg and bolt.
Greg, you get one last computer's check. But before you roll it, I need you to roll an intelligence check to do this idea thing one last time.
Actually, my intelligence is pretty good considering.
Yeah, I just need to see if this idea occurs to you, otherwise you're not going to feel too good.
Oh. 7. I got a 6 in the dice. He has +1 intelligence.
Oh. Yeah, you can roll one more time.
9.
Do I get an idea?
No, sorry, not 9. Nope, yeah, 9. 9, yep.
Do I get an idea?
Yeah, the last two people go. I'm hoping to God this idea comes across.
Natural 1.
4.
Listen, we're fleeing for our
The
lives.
narrative does not want you guys to remember this. All right, but you do get your one last computer's check there on your way out, just because of your
Ooh.
rolls before.
I got 25 this time. I got
Oh my God.
17 on the dice.
What 2 bits of information you want to pull really quickly? They will be very basic because of your rush.
I am grabbing Greg.
What are they studying?
Because you weren't paying attention to the blast door. So it's whatever the last 2 bits of information you pull up on the screen before you're pulled away.
What kind of testing they were doing here?
Okay, what's the other one?
And how many employees were working on this?
Okay. They were experimenting on swarm and swarm hive mind potential, communicating and connecting, as well as this planet's relationship to a nearby spatial entity. But the specifics beyond that you can't quite see. And personnel was 8.
Okay.
And that's just staff.
There were 3 in this room, or 3 were eviscerated, 1 was shot.
3 were eviscerated, 1 was shot, and 1 was torn apart down the hall.
So we know of 5.
And you saw a lab coat in the shuttle or the frigate earlier, and no one was missing a lab coat down here.
Also, I'm running.
All right, anyway, and with that,
Yeah.
Greg, you have been pulled away from the table, and you are all running down the hall. And I want all of you to roll athletics checks, please.
Yeah.
Has the did the blast door completely close?
Athletics? Can I roll acrobatics
No.
instead?
You want to cartwheel down the hall?
My plus 15 in acrobatics says yes, I want to cartwheel.
Okay. What did everybody get?
15.
Natural 19, and I have
Oh.
0 in athletics.
Well, that's
so.
all right.
17.
I got 14 on the dice plus 15.
So 31. Oh my.
Really,
29.
I'm assuming I would have passed the athletics as well with that because I do have a plus 8 in
Yep.
athletics, surprisingly.
That's enough. You guys booking on down the hall. And for those that were asking, no, the blast doors did not completely seal. The multitude of limbs, and it seemed like the swarm, when they were putting their limbs in to cease the doors closing, were not giving any care as to the fact that the door would remove any limb that was put in. And just the sheer number of limbs that have gone in there have stopped the door from completely closing, and the glass is beginning to shatter as you go on down the hall.
I am the last in line as we're running.
Oh, I was gonna say I was last.
Oh, okay, just kidding. I'm second to last.
Yeah. I'm holding a grenade, and I have my one-handed
Nice.
pistol pointed back.
Nice. So you're backing up out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Kliptik, that means you're first,
Okay.
if I recall.
All right. Yes.
You're first one out of there.
How far away is our ship?
You just you're just leaving that hallway into the large hangar bay right now. The hangar bay itself was about 60 feet in depth, and then you parked just outside of that by about 30 feet. So you're about 90 feet away from your ship with a wall between you and it, or at least there should have been a wall. As you exit the hallway, the door is open. The large, massive hangar bay door is open, and there is a singular woman that is standing in the middle of the hallway. This dark black and purple hair that seems to kind of move on its own. And this is a visual that you're pretty familiar with. Her feet aren't on the ground. And she is kind of just hovering there. Nothing else around her. And her arms are out. Hello, my child. And she sits there, and then the rest of you guys... Kliptik, do you stop when you see this right outside the hallway? Even for a second?
Yes.
Yeah. The rest of you three stooges into the back of Kliptik as you come on out of the hallway and are stopped in your tracks by this strange image.
Did we hear her? Did we hear her say anything?
You guys didn't quite get a capture of it, no.
Who's that?
I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus. All right. I'm going to try and use telekinetic projectile on this woman.
Okay.
Which is basically, it says... One second. It says hurl an... Oh, and it says hurl an object. 1 second. I did have one that was... Because I tried to use it on... what's it called? What's his face? Mind Thrust. I apologize. I'm going to use Mind Thrust, which is 2d10 damage.
Okay.
Against this thing.
Mind thrusts. Let me see something really quick here. Yeah, so what that means is you get to roll your 2d8. Roll your damage.
D10?
Whatever, is that what your damage is? 2d10? Roll 2d10.
What does 0 mean?
10.
10? So 19?
Whoa!
Because I
A 9 and a 10?
a 9 and a 10.
Got it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah! That's some good damage.
Oh, okay, so she only takes half of that.
Ah.
All right, so, and as
So
you
was
all
I
go
supposed
out
to add
there...
anything on
Nope,
that too?
that's what you rolled. 19. 19's a lot, dude.
Yeah.
All right, you're like, what, level 3? All right, so as you guys three stooges into the back of Kliptik, I think it was Greg, or was it Laurel that went, who's that?
Yeah.
And as you say that, Kliptik puts out his hand and thrusts out a mental link to this woman. And you watch as she strains a little bit and then brushes it off and is given 9 points of damage.
That guy. A shooter.
Well, we're going to roll
Yeah,
initiative.
figured about your own initiative.
I figured. That makes sense. That makes more sense. Initiative.
Thank you for listening to this Twisted Gear Studios production. The next episode of Spacers will air Tuesday, August 20th. Until then, Tuesday, August 13th is the next episode of The Call, our Call of Cthulhu actual playcast GM'd by Derek Snow. The game system used today was the Starfinder game system by Paizo. Music, sound effects, and ambient tracks in this episode licensed by Video Copilot, Triune Films, and Sirenscape. You can find all Twisted Gears' podcasts on YouTube, Google Play, Apple Music, and Spotify. Please like and follow the Twisted Gear Studios' Facebook page, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Twisted Gear. Your players this evening were Janessa Coles, Lindsay Delansky, Elizabeth Wells, and Bailey Yarkey. Your audio operator tonight was Rob Hickey, and I was your host and GM, Zach Barrett. If you happen to be in the Fort McMurray area, you can find me at Tavern on Main every Monday at 7:30 p.m. for trivia. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.